Next at 10, we get a new look at evidence from the Michael Bever murder trial and what's being done to keep people safe from crime and the weather at this weekend's festivals.
I got a certain way I like to do things. I like Consumer Cellular. I get unlimited talk and text for just $25 a month. They received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row.
And Consumer Cellular has been an approved AARP provider since 2008, so we trust them. Reliable nationwide coverage for way less money? That's the way.
We like it.
Now, for a limited time, get a $20 credit on any new line of service. Call, go online, or find us at Target.
Nick was born to move. 3 toddlers won't stop him, and neither will lower back pain. Because at a Dr. Scholl's kiosk, he got a recommendation for our custom-fit orthotic to relieve his foot, knee, or lower back pain from being on his feet. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
With Advil, you'll ask, what's sore back? What bum knee? Advil is relief that's fast, strength that lasts. You'll ask, what pain? With Advil.
Steven's got big questions for Benedict Cumberbatch tonight on an all-new Late Show.
We're under nuclear attack.
Oh my God.
It's real. We have to hurry.
I'm not going. I'm staying with my family.
The Madam Secretary season finale, CBS Sunday.
The death of a therapist.
Whoever did it was in a rage.
Brings secrets to life.
Denial can be a funny thing. Never can tell what it'll make one do.
A new Elementary, Monday.
On the scene, on the story, News on 6 starts now.
It is a busy weekend in downtown Tulsa with several festivals happening right now.
But there is a threat of severe weather. Trav will have the latest timeline and how storms might affect weekend festivities. That's coming up in just a moment. But first, here at 10 o'clock, we're continuing to look at the evidence from the murder trial of Michael Bever.
News on 6 requested Bever's arrest photos, his jail journal, and videotape statement to police, which are all things the jury used to find him guilty. News on 6 crime reporter Lori Fulbright is on the story with our continuing coverage.
All of the evidence is chilling because 5 people lost their lives, all stabbed to death, and of course 1 teenage girl barely survived. Police say Michael and Robert Bever both had blood and dirt on them when they were arrested just 45 minutes after officers first got on the scene. And they found 5 dead victims and 1 fighting for her life inside the Bever home. They say both brothers freely talked with detectives afterward about the details of their plan and showed no emotion as they talked about what it took to accomplish the murders of their own family members, including their mother.
He stabbed your mom with the same knife?
Yep.
And where did he stab her?
I think in the neck too.
Okay.
And no, actually he stabbed her in the neck, pushed her into the kitchen, and then scared her. So with her, she started screaming and ran into the family.
The journal Michael kept in jail showed childlike but chilling drawings of his dead family members and other depictions of death. A man being eaten by a shark, a man pointing a gun at his own head. We have more of this evidence, including the 911 call, online and on our app. Robert is in prison for life without parole. Michael Bever was sentenced to life. Lori Fulbright, News on 6.
So far quiet across eastern Oklahoma, but thunderstorms are pretty much rolling right across northwestern Oklahoma and southwestern Oklahoma. No severe weather at this time in southwest Oklahoma except for 1 severe thunderstorm that's sitting just to the southwest of Hobart. And then most of the activity is where we expected it, just to our north and west across Kansas. We're going to talk about where we expect those storms to go in a little bit. First of all, though, there is still a slight chance of an isolated strong storm overnight. And we're looking at the higher probabilities, obviously, where it is to the north and west right now. Also, if you're going to be traveling yet tonight, there is a chance that we could see some storms overnight into early morning. I'll give you the idea of how strong we expect them. Well, when the rain chances arrive here, that'll be the latest of what's coming up. Also, how much rain. Some of us still have missed out on rain and need more rain. And also the festival forecast. All that information coming up shortly.
Well, with the threat of some storms this weekend and several festivals happening downtown, organizers are making sure they have a plan in place just in case.
And officers from TPD's Impact Team are working overtime this weekend to make sure you stay safe while attending those events. News on 6's Amy Kaufman is on the story at Mayfest with the latest. Hey, Amy.
Hey, Terry and Craig. Well, the executive director of Mayfest tells me they have different emergency plans in place just in case something were to happen, like severe weather or even a possible armed intruder. But for now, they just have some extra security officers on hand in case something were to happen.
I have some wood underneath my paintings to keep them off the ground, just in case.
John Hammer is a painter who has featured his work at Mayfest for several years now, and he says his tent is always prepared in case of emergency.
I've got these side rails that are trellises that are very heavy that are attached to the tent, and then here they put these water barrels and stuff up, so there's no way this thing's going anywhere.
If a storm were to roll through, or if there would be a situation that prompted a closure at Mayfest, vendors like Hammer would get a text alert to inform them about the situation.
We found that we can shut down the entire festival in about 5 to 10 minutes.
Pingree says for the most part the festival is usually very calm, but they do have extra officers on hand to help.
They know this site inside and out, and they know what to look for and who to look for.
The Tulsa Police Impact Unit focuses on crime inside the IDL, and they are working extra hours this weekend to make sure everyone stays safe.
It's usually small stuff that we deal with, but it's just stuff that we have to take care of because we want the rest of the people downtown to just have a great time.
Because having extra eyes inside the festival from the Impact Unit can free up other officers to focus on crime outside of downtown.
We can free them up to go and take care of the rest of Tulsa.
Now, Mayfest will be open until 11 p.m. tonight, and then we'll open back up at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Blue Dome is closed for the night, but we'll open up at 11 a.m. also tomorrow. And for more information on these festivals, you can head to our News on 6 app. Live on the scene on the story in downtown Tulsa, Amy Kaufman, News on 6.
And with those 3 festivals happening in downtown Tulsa this weekend, there are a lot of street closures to pass along. You can see here which streets will be closed for Hop Jam, Blue Dome, and Mayfest. And if you're heading downtown for one or more of them, we'll have the latest traffic conditions on our free News on 6 app.
Tonight, a 17-year-old Texas high school student faces 10 counts of capital murder after he began shooting at a school outside Houston. Authorities say Demetrius Pagorchis pulled the fire alarm and began shooting with his dad's shotgun and a pistol. 10 people were killed, another 10 were hurt. Authorities are also talking to 2 people of interest. And in the wake of that tragedy, one Oklahoma business says it thinks it has the tool to help stop further violence. News on 6's Brian Dorman is on that story for us tonight.
Yeah, Craig, this is very interesting. John Vaught of the 4S Project has spent 3 years now developing software that scans websites, helping law enforcement and school officials identify where the next threat may come from. He says his technology detects information by setting up a geographic perimeter for subscribers, picking up on things like pictures, text, and audio.
Anything that is accessible on the public internet can be picked up by this. It's an instantaneous notification. As soon as the system detects any kind of a threat or anything that it perceives to be a threat, it automatically alerts all the agencies within that area. And then, of course, it continues to be an information gathering tool at that point.
And people can make anonymous tips reporting issues themselves. The cost, we're told, to a school district less than $50 each month. You can find more information right now on our free News on 6 app. On the scene, on the story, live in Tulsa, Brian Dorman, News on 6.
A jury hands down a guilty verdict in the first case of human trafficking to be tried in Tulsa County Court. The jury recommended Kenneth Ross spend 84 years in prison for child human trafficking, multiple counts of lewd molestation and assault. Now, there have been human trafficking cases previously tried in federal court in Tulsa, but this was a first for county court. A Muskogee County man is charged with 2 counts of child sexual abuse after prosecutors say he inappropriately touched 2 young girls who were in his care. Investigators say Kenneth Brandt would touch and shower with the girls and take pictures of them naked at his home near Bragg's. Brandt is a lifetime registered sex offender for a 1998 rape in Michigan. Well, many of you have been wanting to know how to help those 3 young girls involved in this week's Amber Alert.
Tulsa police say clothes, toys, and other items can be dropped off at the Children's Academy Center gym at 31st and Sheridan. For those wanting to make a monetary donation, an account will be set up Monday at the FOP Credit Union at 11th and Highway 169. Tulsa County prosecutors charged the girl's mother, Tahira Ahmad, today with 2 counts of child neglect, as well as assault with intent to kill and arson. The interim head of the state health department says they're working to rehire some of the nearly 200 employees who were laid off unnecessarily, but it may be too little too late for some. Some of those former employees are considering a class action lawsuit against the state. It comes after a grand jury investigation found the department needlessly laid off 198 workers and ran a multi-million-dollar slush fund that it hid from lawmakers.
Each family suffered from this. Patients suffered from this. Taxpayers are suffering and going to suffer more from this. And there has to be repercussions. There has to be.
So far, the department has reached out to 43 former employees and only 2 have agreed to come back. Tulsa's lead homicide detective is giving insight on how officers solve murders here in Green Country.
Sergeant Dave Walker spoke to the public about why his department is so successful. Tulsa police have a 95 to even 100% murder solve rate. Local security consultants say once they heard Walker was retiring, they wanted to get his leadership perspective.
As a manager, as a leader, you want to find out, how can I lead my teams that effectively, whether it's, investigations or sales even. The principles are really the same, leading an effective organization like that.
Sergeant Walker is retiring this year after nearly 40 years in law enforcement. Well, we are tracking the chance of showers and thunderstorms this weekend across the Osage Casino Skycam network, some of which could be severe. Trav breaks it all down for what it will mean for your weekend plans.
Plus, the Tulsa landmark gets new owners. What's next for the Harweldon Mansion?
You have to live with it, and you have to stay positive and let people help you.
A new report shows Oklahoma had one of the sharpest spikes in depression rates in the nation. I'll introduce you to a Tulsa man who says the problem is too big to ignore.
People are opening up very personal and very private parts of their lives to us, and they're trusting us with that story. It is about having the respect to take the time and sit down with them and hear what they want to say, respecting their feelings, respecting how this has impacted their lives. We have to go out there, we have to be there.
Nothing can replace being there. On the scene, on the story, News on 6.
It's a super sale at Classic Chevrolet's pre-owned headquarters. 150 under 15 grand, 60 under 10 grand. Our record number of new car sales has left us with hundreds of high-quality, low-mile pre-owned just for you. Over 700 pre-owned to choose from, every make and model. Our pre-owned super sale is happening now. We won't be beat on price. Locally owned and operated, 32 years strong. Come see us today. Classic Chevrolet, where a handshake matters. Online at ClassicChevrolet.net.
I'm Mick Cornett. Has our state government ever been more of a mess? Enough talk. Let's start doing something. Put our conservative principles to work. As mayor, we balance 14 straight budgets, creating 100,000 new jobs, 10,000 new businesses. We can improve our educational standards, balance our budget, and fix the mess at the Capitol. Let's solve our problems and grow our economy. Results, not rhetoric. Let's get started.
Mick Cornett for governor.
Don't miss a second of straight-up cash this month at Hard Rock Casino Tulsa. Saturdays in May, we're giving away $10,000 cash at 6 p.m., 8 p.m., and 10 p.m. Earn entries daily and double entry Saturdays to win your share of $120,000 cash. And at 10 p.m., you could win a George Strait concert special with hotel, transportation, and tickets to see George Strait live at the BOK Center June 1st or 2nd. Presented by Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tulsa. Often imitated, never duplicated.
Upper crust wood-fired pizza, artisan pizza, unique sandwiches, and traditional Italian favorites, hot and fresh. Meet at the bar and choose from our extensive wine list. Upper crust wood-fired pizza, on the corner of 91st and Yale.
News on 6 is brought to you by Contour from Cox. Get right to the good stuff.
It made me withdraw from not only my family, but, society. And I became a loner, and I would just stay in my homeless camp.
From homeless to hopeful, a Tulsa man is sharing his story of overcoming mental illness.
A new report shows Oklahoma has one of the highest rates of major depression in the nation, and the number of people diagnosed is up 29% since 2013. News on 6's Ashley Isbicki joins us with the story. Ashley?
Yeah, guys, the Blue Cross Blue Shield report shows Oklahoma had the 6th highest spike in the country, but experts and people suffering from depression say it can be treated, and Oklahoma can lower not only the statistic, but also the stigma.
I started hearing voices. They give you commands and they want you to do different things, harm yourself, harm other people.
Mark Van's life changed after a car crash left him unemployed and in a homeless camp.
I tried to go back to work. They would talk to me all day while I'm at work, telling me to come outside, leave your job.
He knew he needed help and turned to the Mental Health Association Oklahoma.
A total makeover, you know, an overhaul of your life.
He got connected with a doctor and therapist, got on the right medication, and followed an action plan.
Breathing techniques, you know, to help me relax.
The most severe depression can even lead to people having suicidal thoughts. And so we try very hard to catch people while they're still functioning and get them the help that they need so that they don't get to that point.
Julie Summers.
I was surprised to see the report and to see the extent to which depression has increased.
Who also suffers from depression.
People don't understand that depression is a brain disorder.
Says our state can lower the statistic by raising funding levels.
We have right now bare bones funding for mental health issues.
And awareness that depression is too big to ignore. A campaign featuring Van's story of inspiration, from homeless for a year and a half to now living what he calls a normal life.
I believe that if I can help someone else, then it was well worth it.
Well, Van lost his relationship with his kids during all of this, but listen to this. Just last weekend, he was there to watch his daughter graduate from college, and he calls that a miracle, considering just a year and a half ago, he experienced homelessness.
That is certainly
much,
really wonderful to see that kind of turnaround.
Mm-hmm. The Hart-Weldon Mansion has a new owner tonight.
After 49 years, Tulsa's Hardesty Art Center is passing the torch to Teresa Knox and Ivan Acosta of Hickory House Properties. Plans are in place to ensure the property near 21st and Main retains its historical identity. Those at the Art Center say it was important to find an owner who valued historic preservation.
Now, the Oklahoma weather expert, Travis Meyer.
Now, I'm not going to pray for rain on anybody's parade, but maybe on their festival that might happen. I wanted some rain, and I'm not having it yet, and we do have opportunities for rain, but almost all of the rain is in an area of portions of central and western portions of Kansas. We do have severe thunderstorm watches in effect there. Goes all the way to Cowley County, which is just north of Ponca City, so we're going to watch this overnight. We have had a severe thunderstorm watch in western Oklahoma, but that has ceased to exist because the showers and thunderstorms, they're still going on, and they're not that impressive, but there's a little bit going on. So that means that there's just enough that something could end up making it into Tulsa. Right now there's one severe storm between Cordell and also Obert. Now as you look, that is expected to move to the east, and that's still going to be well west of the Oklahoma City area. But if this could hold together as we go through late tonight, it could be in Tulsa by 3 a.m. So it's got a lot of ground to cover, and it's pretty wimpy. The bigger storms up here, we're going to keep an eye on what's going on up in Cowley County, and then just make sure nothing gets too carried away up in your area. Now as far as tonight, here's a look at how this is shaping up. Chance showers and storms mainly to the north through 3 a.m. The Oklahoma City stuff kind of has a hard time getting through Oklahoma City. As we go into the morning, lingering chance of a shower, but temperatures very warm. It's pretty muggy, upper 60s, low 70s across the whole area. During the day tomorrow, kind of walking through the whole day, it's hot, very hot. I've mentioned this now for the last couple of days. Highs being low 90s, heat index is well into the mid 90s, but during the late afternoon hours, there is a boundary to our northwest. How far northwest where it develops is still up in the air. So we have a couple of computer guidance models that are trying to say one's really a lot closer, one's way back up to the northwest. We do believe, though, that by evening there will be a line of storms someplace trying to develop, and a big area of strong storms in the late afternoon could be moving on up into eastern Kansas by about 7 or 8. But we're going to try to see if we can hold some showers together and at least get a little rain in here. hopefully after all the festivals are over with, and then I'll be happy later on. In the meantime, though, at least there is a chance of some showers and storms overnight that could linger into early morning before it starts to fall apart. So it'll be cooler with 60s to near 70 during the morning, and then during the afternoon it's a mix of clouds and sun in upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Could be wide ranging as well, where the warmer air is still located in southeast Oklahoma. A few thunderstorms could form, and temperatures will generally be in the 70s. Behind that, with a little sun, this time of year we'll bump back up to 80 or warmer. So our chance of rain, showers, and thunderstorms for tonight, even though we have a 40% chance, is pretty wimpy in terms of other than getting your car spotted and wet and maybe 10, 20 hundredths of rain, unless you're to the north and west of Tulsa. Saturday, same story. Most of the day quiet, and areas to the north and west have the highest probability of rain. Some of those will be severe. Hail and wind would be the most likely threats. Then hopefully that sweeps through and everybody is sleeping and before church on Sunday morning to 50% chance of rain and showers overnight. The amounts of rain are still anywhere from about a ½ inch to an inch, inch and a half at most. So there's not a ton, but there should be some. So our weekend rain chances look like this. Highest probability will be coming in late tonight, 3 a.m. and then kind of going off. Most of our Saturday's okay. And then Saturday late afternoon, mainly evening into the morning, will be our higher probabilities of rain and a few showers or thunderstorms. So our forecast looks like this: 71, chance of a few showers through the morning hours, and then by noon it's muggy, it's hot, it's 86 already. 93, very hot in the afternoon, heat index 97. At least there's a good breeze out of the south, that'll help out. Here's our chance of rain. Again, shows Saturday and Sunday with 50%. If we had our druthers, we'd like to have that druth about 50% on Saturday night into Sunday morning, so it doesn't look like it's going to rain the whole weekend, but you get the idea. Most of the weekend should be okay. Just hot on Saturday. Showers should be ending on Sunday, and Sunday should turn out to be good. Next chance of rain and thunderstorms for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Those could be locally heavy, but it's more May, just muggy. Muggy May is here.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you, Trav.
Unfortunately, before we wrap up, we have some breaking news to tell you about. A body's been recovered after a drowning at Keystone